Meet a typical American family, both mid-30s. Combined income, $158,000. They bought a $390,000 house, put 20% down. Mortgage, $312,000 at 6.7%. Monthly payment, $2,850. They did everything right. The bank approved them for $540,000. They went lower. Smart, responsible, by the book. Here's what nobody told them at closing. Over 30 years, they'll pay $726,840 total. That's $414,840 in pure interest, more than the loan itself. Just for paying slowly. There's a better way. It's thousands of years old, and banks hate it. My name is Bobby, and today I'm showing you the Jewish financial principle that helps regular families pay off 3 0-year mortgages in 5-7 years. No gimmicks, no lottery, no ramen diet. Let's get into it. Let me take you back, not to 1950. Further, in ancient agricultural societies, debt was simple. You borrowed grain in spring. You repaid after harvest. That's it. Then interest entered the picture. A farmer borrows 100 units at 20% interest. He repays 120. Bad harvest next year. He borrows again. Now he owes 144. Then 172. Then 207. Within one generation, he doesn't own his land anymore. His children are born into a debt they didn't create and can never escape. This wasn't theory. This happened. Across Mesopotamia, across Egypt, across the entire ancient world. Civilizations didn't collapse from outside invasion. First, they collapsed from internal debt slavery. Wealth concentrated into fewer and fewer hands until ordinary people had nothing left to lose. The Jewish tradition looked at that pattern and said, "Not among our people." The Torah introduced one radical concept, the Shemitah. Every 7th year, debts were canceled, not renegotiated, not restructured. Gone. Every 49 years came the Jubilee land, returned to original owners. Wealth redistributed, the entire economic slate wiped clean. Here's why that matters for your mortgage. The Shemitah created urgency. If debts cancel in 7 years, you only borrow what you can repay in 7 years. You structure your entire financial life around 7-year cycles. The 3 0-year mortgage is the exact opposite. It's the ancient debt trap, same mechanics. Modern paperwork. The Jewish financial tradition recognized it immediately and built specific tools to defeat it. Back to our couple. $312,000 mortgage, 6.7% interest, $1,970 monthly payment. First month, they pay $1,970. Of that $1,742 goes to the bank as interest. $228 reduces their actual debt. $228. That's it. 88 cents of every dollar goes straight to bank profit. They're not buying a house. They're renting it from the bank with a tiny ownership installment attached. By end of year 1, 12 payments, $23,640 paid. Only $2,840 went toward owning the home. The bank took $20,800. In 1 year, by year 5, $118,200 paid. Principal reduced by $14,900. They still owe $297,100. 5 years, $120,000 paid. They own 5% more of their house. By year 10, $236,400 paid. Still owe $276,800. 1/3 through the loan. Paid off 11% of the house. This is the architecture. Front-loaded interest. By design, the bank knows most people refinance or move within 13 years. That's the NAR median. So they built maximum profit into those exact years. A customer who pays off the mortgage is a customer they lose. A customer who refinances every 7 years is a customer they keep forever. You're on a treadmill, running hard, going nowhere. By design. Here are the actual weapons. Practical. Applicable starting this month. Rivet the interest prohibition. Jewish law treated charging interest to a community member as a moral violation, not a minor one. A fundamental breach of ethics. What did that produce economically? An alternative financial system. If you can't charge interest inside the community, you build other ways to circulate capital, and those ways turn out to be extraordinarily powerful. The GIMOC, the interest-free loan pool. Families and community members pool money. Members borrow from the pool for weddings, medical bills, business, real estate. They repay faithfully. Zero interest. The pool grows. Wealth circulates inside the community. Not $1 leaks to an external institution. Apply that to our couple's $312,000 mortgage. They sit down with their parents, grandparent, a sibling with savings sitting in a 4% CD. Loan us $60,000 at zero interest. We pay you back $1,000 a month for 5 years. You get every dollar back. We save $180,000 in bank interest. That's $60,000 applied to principal in month 1 because of where we are on the amortization curve, right at peak interest extraction, eliminates $180,000 in future interest and cuts 11 years off the mortgage. One conversation. 11 years gone. $180,000 stays in the family. The Heder Iska reframe every extra payment. Jewish law developed a concept that restructured loans as business partnerships rather than interest-bearing. Obligation. The modern takeaway is this. Stop thinking of extra mortgage payments as expenses. Every extra $1,000 toward principal is an equity purchase at a guaranteed 6.7% return. On a 6.7% mortgage with 25 years remaining, that $1,000 saves you $3,200 in future interest. That's a 220% guaranteed, tax-free, risk-free return. No stock market investment guarantees 220%. None. The bank knows this. That's exactly why they tell you to invest in the market instead of paying down the mortgage. Because if you understood the real math, you'd send every spare dollar to your principal, and their profit machine shuts down. Tzedakah is typically translated as charity, but the Hebrew root is tzedek, justice. The concept isn't about generosity. It's about righteous obligation. It's about structuring your financial life so that the first allocation of resources goes to what's most important before discretionary spending absorbs everything. Applied to mortgage payoff. This principle reorders your entire budget. The extra mortgage payment isn't what's left over after you've lived your life. It's the first obligation before dining out, before vacations, before the upgraded car. You structure your financial life around the priority, not around the lifestyle. The lifestyle gets what's left after the priority is funded. This sounds simple. It is not easy. But it is the difference between 30 years and 7 years, between paying $414,000 in interest and paying $85,000, between financial servitude and financial freedom. Let's get completely concrete. Our couple, $312,000 mortgage at 6.7%. Take-home pay after taxes, approximately $112,000 per year, $9,333 per month. Here's what their budget probably looks like right now. Mortgage with taxes and insurance, $2,850. 2 car payments, $950. Groceries, utilities, insurance, gas, $3,200. Dining out, entertainment, subscriptions, discretionary, $1,600. Retirement contributions at 6% to capture company match, $790. Random expenses, odds and ends, $500. Total, approximately $9,890 per month. They're actually going slightly negative, or barely breaking even. Sound familiar? At this pace, they pay the bank $414,840 in interest over 30 years. Now, here's the Shemitah sprint. The goal, zero mortgage balance in 7 years. To hit that target, they need to pay approximately $4,780 per month toward the mortgage. That's $2,810 more per month than their current payment. Where does that come from? Asterisk, asterisk, step 1. Pause additional retirement contributions. Asterisk, asterisk. They keep enough to capture the full company match that's non-negotiable, because the company match is an immediate 50% to 100% return that beats everything else, but they stop any contributions beyond the match. That frees $350 per month. And I know what you're thinking. I'll address it. Stay with me. Step 2. Sell the newer car. They become a 1-car household for the duration of the sprint. One of them works from home 3 days a week. The other arranges a carpool 2 days a week. They use the paid-off car and sell the financed one. That eliminates a $475 car payment, saves $180 per month in insurance, and saves $150 in gas. Total freed, $805 per month. Asterisk. Asterisk. Step 3. The GMOC call. Asterisk. Asterisk. They sit down with both sets of parents. They present the math clearly and honestly. We have a $312,000 mortgage at 6.7%. If you loan us $40,000 at zero interest, repaid faithfully at $560 per month for 6 years, you get your money back completely. We eliminate over $120,000 in bank interest. The bank loses. Our family wins. If the parents have the means, and many do, sitting in low-yield savings accounts, this is a straightforward conversation. Result: $40,000 applied to principal immediately in month 1. That single act eliminates 8 years of scheduled payments and $120,000 in future interest. Asterisk, asterisk. Step 4. Cut discretionary spending by 65%. Asterisk, asterisk. Not zero, not ramen, but intentional. They cook at home 6 nights a week instead of 3. They cancel streaming services they barely use keeping one. They stop buying things impulsively. They pause the annual vacation for 2 years, then take one modest trip every other year. They shop secondhand for clothes. Total savings, $1,040 per month. Asterisk, asterisk. Step 5. Generate additional income. Asterisk, asterisk. He picks up consulting work on Saturday mornings. He has marketable skills the market will pay for. She adds 1 overtime shift per week. Combined after-tax additional income, $1,400 per month. Not glamorous, not passive. Active, intentional income generation for a defined period of time. Added up, $350 from pausing extra retirement contributions, $805 from the car consolidation, $40,000 GMOC injection applied in month 1, $1,040 from discretionary cuts, $1,400 from additional income. Monthly additional payment capacity, $3,595 per month beyond their base payment. With the $40,000 GMOC applied in month 1 and $4,780 total monthly mortgage payment going forward, this mortgage is gone in 6.2 years. Total interest paid, $82,400 instead of $414,840. Interest saved, $332,440. $332,000. Kept in the family, not handed to a bank. Here's what nobody wants to talk about. The math isn't the hard part. The math is simple. The hard part is the psychology. And the Jewish financial tradition, more than almost any other, understood that financial behavior is primarily a psychological and cultural phenomenon, not a mathematical one. There's a concept in Jewish ethics called asterisk, asterisk, musar, asterisk, asterisk, a discipline of moral and character development that addresses the internal obstacles to right action. Applied to personal finance, Musar would identify the specific character traits that keep people trapped in 3-0-year mortgages, despite knowing better. Asterisk, asterisk, kavod, asterisk, asterisk, honor, reputation, status, the desperate need to appear successful, to drive the car that signals you've arrived, to take the vacation your coworkers will see on social media, to live in the neighborhood that reflects the income you earn. Kavod is what makes you lease a BMW on a Camry budget. Kavod is what makes you go to Cancun instead of sending $4,000 to the bank. Kavod is one of the most expensive psychological expenses in the American middle class, and almost nobody counts it on their budget spreadsheet. Asterisk, asterisk, tava, asterisk, asterisk, desire, craving, the pull of immediate gratification. The restaurant looks good tonight. The jacket is on sale. The vacation package expires Friday. Tava doesn't destroy you in one catastrophic decision. It destroys you in 1,000 small ones, each individually reasonable, collectively devastating to your financial trajectory. Asterisk, asterisk, bitachon, asterisk, asterisk, trust. Specifically, the trust that the future will work out without present sacrifice. I'll start paying extra next year when I get the raise. I'll invest more seriously after the kids start school. I'll get serious about the mortgage when things calm down. Bitachon, properly understood, is a virtue. Improperly applied, it becomes the comfortable story you tell yourself to avoid the discomfort of action today. The Musar tradition would tell you that financial freedom isn't primarily a mathematical problem. It's a character problem. And character is built through practice, not intention, through repeated choices. Not one dramatic decision. The couple who pays off their mortgage in 6 years doesn't do it because they found a secret. They do it because for 72 consecutive months, when faced with the choice between comfort today and freedom tomorrow, they chose freedom. Not once, not dramatically, repeatedly, quietly, consistently. That's not a financial strategy. That's character. And character, according to Musar, is the only real source of sustainable wealth. Here's the part of the story that makes this philosophy truly extraordinary. Because the Shemitah sprint isn't about sacrifice, it's about timing. And what happens after the sprint is where generational wealth actually gets built. Our couple pays off the mortgage at age 41. Let that land. At 41 years old, they own their home free and clear. No payment, no balance, no bank with a claim on their life. They own it. That $2,850 per month they were paying toward the house is now free, completely free. The consulting work is winding down. The overtime shifts are done. Life is returning to normal, except nothing is normal, because their financial reality has fundamentally transformed. Here's what they do with that freed cash flow. They immediately resume maximum retirement contributions, both maxing their 401ks and both opening Roth IRAs. That's $46,000 per year in tax-advantaged investing. They invest another $1,500 per month in a taxable brokerage account in low-cost index funds. And they establish a family GAMOC, a fund that begins small but grows, and that their children will one day be able to draw from for down payments, business startups, and yes, to avoid signing their own 3-0-year mortgage sentences. At a conservative 8% annual return, that $46,000 per year in tax-advantaged accounts, plus $18,000 per year in taxable investing, $64,000 per year total grows to $1,847. 0 inches, 15 years. Our couple is 56 years old. They have a paid-off house. They have nearly $2 million in investment accounts, and they still have 6 to 11 years before traditional retirement age to let that compound further. By 65, those investments are approaching $4 million. Their house purchased for $390,000 in their mid-30s is now worth perhaps $800,000 with no mortgage. Their total net worth at traditional retirement age, somewhere above $4,500,000. Now run the traditional path. Same couple, same income, same house. They keep the 3-0-year mortgage. They invest the difference. Let's be generous and assume they actually do it with perfect discipline. At 65, with consistent 401k contributions throughout but a smaller monthly investment amount because they're servicing the mortgage, their investment accounts reach approximately $2,400,000. Their house has a $0 balance because they just made the final payment. Net worth, roughly $3,200,000. The difference between the two paths, $1,300,000. $1,300,000. Not from different incomes, not from different jobs, not from lucky investments or inheritance. From a 7-year sprint at age 32 versus a 3-0-year slow walk. And here's what the numbers don't capture. The couple on the sprint path spent 24 years from age 41 to 65 without a mortgage payment. 24 years of psychological freedom. 24 years where a job loss was an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. 24 years where a medical emergency didn't threaten the house. 24 years of options to take risks, to change careers, to help family members, to be generous that the other couple simply didn't have because their monthly obligations wouldn't allow it. The Jewish financial tradition understood something that modern financial advisors still miss. Wealth isn't a number. Wealth is options. Wealth is freedom. Wealth is the ability to say no to things that don't serve you and yes to things that do. And you cannot have any of that while the bank owns your house. Let's run through every pushback I know you're sitting there with. Asterisk, asterisk. Bobby, what about the mortgage interest tax deduction? I'll lose that. Asterisk, asterisk. I hear this constantly. Here's the math. You're in the 22% federal tax bracket. You pay $20,000 in mortgage interest this year. The deduction saves you $4,400 in taxes. You still paid $15,600 to the bank in after-tax money. The deduction didn't save you. It gave you back 22 cents of every dollar you lost. That's not a win. That's the bank letting you keep a small tip after taking your wallet. You want the tax deduction gone because that means you paid no interest. Paying zero interest and losing the deduction is infinitely better than paying $20,000 in interest and getting $4,400 back.